Street Fighter 6 have been out for over 10 days now, and we have all been grinding it, at least me personally. Seriously, my social life took a very big hit with Street Fighter 6. So did it turn out to be as good as we were hoping, or did it not? Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. MC Mura here, and today we're gonna talk about Street Fighter 6 now that we have got a lot more time on it. And I wanna say that for the first edition of a Street Fighter game, what we got here is very solid, although I do have some gripes with it. This video is mostly gonna talk about gameplay related matters. I'm not really evaluating the product because that is a totally different topic. Today we're talking gameplay, and I want to first start with Drive Impact because this is a very big deal in this game, and let me say, it did not turn out the way I expected it to. You would think having an armored move would be very useful against telegraphed attacks or like enemies repeating patterns, but it's not really the case, right? You're trying to use this against Marisa Superman Punch, Honda Headbutt, Blanca Ball, etc. They will recover most likely in time and punish you back. I've also seen a lot of people, especially on lower level gameplay, a lot will try to use this as some sort of a wake up technique or a defensive option. You're getting hit. I've seen some people do it while they're getting comboed, like they're mashing on Drive Impact, but obviously if your opponent is wary enough, they will do one of their cancelable normal, typically because you're doing a combo, and then you will get Drive Impacted back and lose even more health. As this is especially common in like gold, silver, etc. I made sure to play a lot of Battle Hub to be able to see like how people are playing, right? So it's not good against telegraphed moves, it's not really that amazing on defense, it's a little bit annoying but not that amazing. But what it ended up being really good against are pokes and buffer, well, most of the times, right? In this game, when your opponent is trying to use a poke attack, especially one that is not cancelable, there is sometimes a chance that you will hit them with the Drive Impact and get a punish counter. If you were just a couple of frames late, maybe they will recover in time and punish you back, so it's not a consistent answer. It really is a high risk, high reward move, but I feel like this mechanic in general is specifically there to address buffers. In Street Fighter 5, the game had a lot of really fast forward dashes, and a lot of players would buffer normals all the time, right? I was a Cody player. If I suspect that my opponent is gonna do something like a dash, I would buffer a standing light kick into medium ruffian or crouching medium into light ruffian, etc. If you do that in Street Fighter 6, you're most likely gonna lose a ton of health because Drive Impact will likely counter the normal and the special you're doing, and you're gonna get punished. So it was specifically built, I feel like, to counter buffers, and in return this buffed raw drive rush and raw dashes. Although dashes are slow in the game, some of the stronger dashes like a Jury dash or like a DJ drive rush that are very hard to react to, they are a lot better now because you're always scared of pushing a button. You try to push a button to buffer, well, you might eat a Drive Impact to your face, right? And I feel like also characters who don't have a lot of cancelable pokes, like Zangief for example, they now got to play much more careful in the neutral than they were in the previous games. Now speaking of Drive Rush, since I was just on it, Drive Rush is also a mechanic that is pretty much dominating Street Fighter 6. Let's start first by talking about what I like about Drive Rush, and the first thing is, it's a really fun mechanic. It is really fun. It's really fun to do it on offense, it's really fun to do it in combos, especially Drive Rush juggles. These are always amazing, right? And one thing that is actually very interesting about Drive Rush as well, especially Drive Rush cancels, is that this is probably the biggest buff to charge characters that I have ever seen in Street Fighter games. One of the drawbacks of charge characters were that they will force it to turtle a lot in neutral, because if they wanna whiff punish into damage, they will typically do a move into a charge attack. Like let's say for example, we're talking about Honda and you wanna whiff punish, you would stand jab into headbutt. Or like Chun-Li in Street Fighter 5, you wanted to walk back and forth, crouching medium kick, well, you were not getting the spinning bird kick as a whiff punish and you had to use meter on EX legs. Well, in this game, it's totally different because now you get to move freely, use, say, for example, for Honda, a standing medium punch or a crouching medium punch or even a heavy, get a whiff punish, drive rush forward, and you'll be able to continue on with your combos. Same with Chun-Li. Right now, her crouching medium kick is a much better whiff punish tool because drive rush exists. Now she's getting way more out of it. Now, anyways, this is good because it made charge characters more fun, but honestly, at the same time, I feel like now they get to keep the charge attacks that are amazing in this game without a lot of the drawbacks of being a charge character. And speaking of drive rush again, one thing that I will say, and I don't want a lot of you to get me wrong here, I feel like drive rush is kind of homogenizing the game, right? It feels like to me at the moment there aren't many characters with unique character strengths. There is obviously some like JP, like Manon, like Marissa, like DJ even, who got some really unique strengths, but then you have the type of the Ryu, Ken, Luke, Chun-Li. Like, can you tell me what is uniquely strong about Chun-Li or Ryu? Or even Luke and Ken? It feels like you're doing the same thing with just some different tools here and there, but the game plan is almost the same. It's like find a whiff punish or press the opponent and then gets into the corner or close to, through loop them and then, through loop or shimmy. At least that is what it appears to be right now. I'm hoping that in the future Capcom will add more unique character strengths and make each of the characters feel more individual, because even though I don't feel that way about it, I'm finding the game very addictive. I am seeing people online saying that matches start to feel more samey. And that's why I actually switched off from playing Luke and Chun-Li to now trying out characters like Marisa, Zangief, Manon, etc. because I want to play different archetypes that would make the game more enjoyable. I'm playing completely different styles, right? It's something that I will highly recommend all of you guys do. Now, finally, I want to talk about drive parry because this is probably the most underexplored aspect of the game right now. A lot of people still don't incorporate parries into their game, and it's mostly there to counter strategies like a Honda headbutt, Blanka ball, etc. Although I'm not a fan of the perfect parry scaling, if I'm being completely honest. Yes, if perfect parry didn't have any scaling, it would kill a lot of the pressure in this game, because you're not really risking that much with a perfect parry, but at the same time, when you perfect parry a Blanka ball or a Honda headbutt, you would expect to do more damage. Like right now, if you mess up a perfect parry on a Honda headbutt, you eat 1400 damage, you perfect parry it, you get a combo, you're doing 1000 damage to him max, if you don't use resources. So that part of it is, I feel like that needs to be fine-tuned somewhat. But other than that, I think the game is in a very good place. The roster feels like a good portion of them are pretty viable. Some characters obviously seems a bit overtuned. I'm seeing a lot of complaints about Manon, a lot of complaints about JP, Ken, Jury, etc. So when a lot of characters are getting complained about, you know that's a good sign. You know that the roster is powerful, and we love to see that. Now, before I let you go, there is one thing I want to talk about in Street Fighter 6, and that is the matchmaking. Although this is not directly gameplay related, I think it's important to talk about, because there is an issue with the matchmaking right now in Street Fighter 6. And it's not just me, I've seen a lot of people talk about it. It seems like the game and the way it matches you is region based. It doesn't match you based on ping, it matches you based on region. So that's why you will see a lot of players complaining that they're fighting the same 4 or 5 opponents every time. And this is something that I hope Capcom will address, because for games that just came out, I want to fight as many people as possible, but right now that's not really what's happening. I end up fighting the same dudes, which is a big turn off from playing rank, to be honest. I haven't been enjoying the rank experience that much. I played a little bit with Chun-Li, got her to Diamond, Marisa. Maybe I will complete Manon because I only done like 4 or 5 of her placement games. But yeah, for now, ranked, slow matchmaking, at least for me, and region locking means like you don't get to fight many people, although the netcode is amazing, so I hope that this is something that Capcom will take a look at in the future. What are your thoughts on Street Fighter 6 so far? Are you enjoying it? Are you not? Do you have any gripes? I would love to hear your thoughts about all of that in the comment section below. If you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like or a comment. It helps the channel so much. I will be leaving a link to the Patreon, Discord, Twitter and Twitch pages in the description. Thank you so much for watching and stay safe.